Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this online lecture series. This is your teacher Neha Pradeep Joshi, and we are reading The Rising of the Moon, a one act play written by Lady Gregory. Uh, in this lecture, we are going to see the climax or the final part of this one act play. But before that, let us just revise what we have seen so far. Okay, so as you know that this one act play is based on a political theme. It has a historical background. Hmm? And what kind of history or which history is discussed in this one act play? History of Ireland. Rebellion that took place in Ireland in 1798 against British rule. It has a background of that rebellion. So here what we have seen so far. Okay, so there is a quay, and there are some policemen putting up a poster of a person hmm, who broke out of the jail. That person is a revolutionary. That person is a member of the revolutionary group. Okay, so the policemen are searching for him, so they are putting up posters. Okay, and then along with two policemen there is a sergeant, okay, who decides that he'll remain at one place to keep a watch. All right, then what happens? Once that sergeant is alone, suddenly one poor ballad singer comes to that place. एक गरीब पोवाडा गाणारा गायक त्या ठिकाणी येतो, and the sergeant tells him very clearly that do not stay at this place, we are keeping a watch, so go away. Okay, नॉर्मली कुठल्याही माणसाने काय केलं असतं, इफ अ पोलिसमन इज टेलिंग मी गो अवे देन आय शुड हॅव डन द सेम. बट दिस बॅलड सिंगर इज very confident, and he is bit strange or queer. What he says that okay, I'll sit here with you for some time and then I'll leave. Okay, so he goes on talking a lot with the sergeant. He goes on singing some songs with the sergeant. They are actually having a conversation. Okay, आपण पाहिलंय की सुरुवातीला sergeant is not at all happy with the ballad singer, and he is forcing that man to go away. So before leaving, he suddenly says that I know the person you are searching for. Hmm? And then there is a total shift in the mood of a sergeant. ओके, की त्याला हा माणूस सांगतोय की मला माहिती आहे तुम्ही ज्या माणसाला शोधता आहात, आय नो दॅट पर्सन व्हेरी वेल. So then the sergeant is taking interest in the conversation. Then what do they do? They sit upon a barrel, back to back, and they are having a conversation. Okay, now try to visualize the scene over here. It is a dark place, quayside, and there are only two people, one sergeant and one man, a ballad singer, and they are having a conversation. And what kind of conversation is that? The ballad singer mentions different songs, or he starts to sing some songs. But what kind of songs are those? Are those really simple songs that we normally sing? No, they all the songs that he mentions, the list is over here. See this: Granuel, Shan Bean, and Green on the Cape. All the three songs, those are discussed by the ballad singer. They all are inspirational songs. Those are all related to the glorious history of Ireland. Okay, so you can imagine the impact of those songs. Okay, now you can imagine this, you can relate with this. For example, yeah, and in previous lecture I have talked about all these three songs. So if you still haven't watched the previous video, go through that. I have discussed about both those three songs over there, and you can give some information about them. That will definitely enrich the quality of your answer. Okay, and now what is the impact of all those songs? Now you can take an example. In our case, in our situation, um, when we hear a song about suppose Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj or Rani Lakshmi Bai, Maharani Tarabai, what kind of impact does such song have on our mind? You can imagine it. It inspires us. Okay, so when you hear such songs, they inspire you to fight for what is right. Hmm? They are ultimate source of motivation for all of us, right? Now, similarly, that kind of impact is expected on the mind of Sargent when the man mentions those songs. Okay, so now he here discusses that you must have sung all those songs in your childhood, and other revolutionaries must have sung the same, and now you are going to arrest them who are going to fight for their own country. Hmm? So why this change? Why are you accepting this foreign rule? Then the sergeant just openly accepts that, as I'm man of the duty, I'm in a service, I cannot openly uh, accept or do whatever I want to do. Okay, and then what happens? He is just that sergeant is just having a dilemma of what to do, whether to side with the people or whether to side with the law. Okay, that is the classic dilemma. I have talked about it in previous lectures. If you still haven't watched them, go through them instantly. Then now let us come to the final part. Then what happens? Now this is the final part. Okay, as it is a one act play, there is no lot of time available. So now you can expect a rising action or a climax of the action. Okay, so now uh, sergeant is somehow suspicious that there is some kind of activity happening on the side of a quay. Okay, and the man is constantly uh, making him aware of the situation. He's trying to catch his attention, or divert his attention towards the reality or the situation. Okay, see his line over here. I'm thinking it was with the people you were and not with the law you were when you were a young man. Okay, so he is now openly appealing the sergeant not to side with the people who are foreigners, but side with the people who are the children of the soil and who are fighting for the freedom of their country. Okay, and now sergeant is again, he is very upset. Okay, uh, he is totally uncomfortable with whatever the conversation is going on, and he constantly tells the man to remain quiet and don't say anything else. But the man now, he is trying his level best to make this sergeant aware of the reality and to see the reality as it is. He goes on singing the song of Granuel. Huh? This song over here, he goes on singing that, and it is full of all the patriotic elements. Okay, the sergeant is unable to handle all that, and he's constantly telling him to stop singing, but he just goes on. And then in the final part of this that song, there is one specific stanza. One word more for signal token, whistle up the marching tune with your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. Okay, now this specific song was used by all those revolutionaries uh, to connect with each other to pass the messages. Okay, the last line, with your pike upon your shoulder at the rising of the moon. Okay, so it is like a connection or the tune that they have for each other. Okay, now pike is what? In Marathi we call it bhala. That it is a symbol of their fighting spirit. Okay, so now sergeant is very much upset with the way this conversation is going on, and he says, if you don't stop that, I'll arrest you. A whistle from below answers, repeating the air. Okay, now see that in that song there is a signal to connect with each other. It is like their ringing, or their ring, or the signal that they use normally when they sing this song. So there is a response from another side. So the man now realizes that his other friends are over there on the other side, and sergeant realizes that this man is not just a ballad singer, he's somebody else. Okay, and he asks, who are you? You are no ballad singer. And then we come to know that you needn't ask who I am. That placard will tell you. Okay, so the man is actually the revolutionary that the sergeant is searching for. Okay, then what happens? Does the sergeant arrest him immediately? No. Why? Let us see. The man is, openly telling him that there is a reward upon my on my head, and there are my friends also. So are you going to arrest me for that? And sergeant is too much. He's taken by surprise that he was actually having a discussion with that revolutionary for so long, and he did not even realize his actual identity. Okay, and now the man is openly asking him, are you going to arrest me, or are you going to let me go? This is your choice. So there is a conversation going on, and suddenly two policemen, the other two policemen, they enter the scene. Okay, it's my comrades coming. And the man says, see how confident he is. He knows that the sergeant has some kind of patriotic elements in his mind. He is not totally corrupt person, so he knows the reality. He has that sense in his mind. So therefore he confidently says, you won't betray me, the friend of Granuel. Okay, and he slips behind the barrel. And then the policemen came, and they ask, uh, did anyone come this way? Now see here, sergeant could have just simply said that, yes, I saw a man and he is hiding there. But does he do that here? We'll see. The final line in here, you can see, uh, yeah, I don't want you, there is nothing for you to do here. And the policemen, they cannot understand why this man does not want us to accompany him or to stay with him. We can help him, right? But the sergeant is now telling them to go away, and he is saying that he is completely fine, even if he is alone here. He does not want anybody's help. He can keep the watch all by himself. And he even refuses to accept the lantern or their company, and he just tell them to go away instantly. I don't want anybody right here right now with me. I'm fine by myself, so go away. And he sends both the policemen away. And then what happens? Then the man, he comes out, or he was hiding behind the barrel, and he now having a conversation, open conversation with the sergeant. Okay, they now see the line. They go out, man comes from behind barrel, he and sergeant stand looking at one another. See, both these people, they are definitely surprised by how the whole action changed within some seconds only. Okay, Sergeant, now he's totally changed. Okay, what are you waiting for, man? For my hat, of course, and my wig. I wouldn't wish me to get I you wouldn't wish me to get my death of cold. Sergeant gives them. Okay, and now finally the man is going away, that revolutionary is going away, so that he can escape all these people and he can execute his plan to make his country free again. Okay, but before going away, he says something to the sergeant, going towards steps. Well, good night, comrade, and thank you. You did me a good turn tonight, and I am obliged to you. He's acknowledging the noble deed done by the sergeant. Maybe I'll be able to do as much for you when the small rise up and the big fall down. When we all change places at the rising, waves his hand and disappears off the moon. Okay? Sergeant, turning his back to audience and reading placard. £100 reward. £100. Turns towards audience. I wonder now, am I as great a fool as I think I am? And then curtain falls. Okay. Now you can see how dynamic is a character of sergeant, that in the beginning this person who is totally thinking about his duties, the law and the order and everything, in the end he actually helps the same person to whom he was searching for. ज्या माणसाला ते शोधत होते त्यालाच त्यांनी पळून जायला मदत केली. Why? Because he knew that the person is doing a great service to the nation, and that person does not deserve to be in the jail, but he deserves to remain free, and he has a great job to do to fight for his country's freedom. Okay, so this is a dynamism here that you can observe throughout the story. See, there is no a story as such. There is just just an event, but it is complete in itself. There are two main characters. One character is sergeant and one is the man. Okay, so now for studying this one act play, I think you should keep in mind three important questions. One, what is the significance of the title, The Rising of the Moon? Okay, because all the actions happen at night only, you can mention that. Then, second question, character sketch of the sergeant. How is he in the beginning, and then what happens, and how is he in the end? And then the third question, character of sergeant and then character of the man. These three questions are important. If you do them thoroughly well, then you can cover the whole story. Okay, so now try to study in that way. If you still haven't watched the previous videos, go through them. Do not take it lightly. Okay, so the final result is totally unexpected, right? That sergeant, he openly takes a side of the revolutionary. Finally he can see or accept the reality that it is a time when he should not stand for the law or by the law, but by his people. Okay, he has now finally got the answer of his dilemma, that it is no time to side with a foreign rule and its laws, but it is a time to side with my own people who want nothing but freedom. Okay, so this is a change that you should focus more on. Now, think of it in that perspective. Try to answer all the questions that I have just told you, and if you have any doubt, we can go through that once again. So now start studying this. It is going to be there for this semester exam, so give it enough thought. I hope you have understood this. And tomorrow in the next lecture we'll discuss the important questions on the rising of the moon, and then this part will be over. Okay. Keep studying. All the best for your preparation. Thank you for your attention. uh, we'll discuss this in the next lecture again. Thank you.